Welcome to episode 14 of Faith and Freedom, the presidents who built America. As we stand on the threshold of America's 250th anniversary in 2026, we turn our eyes once more to the men who shaped this nation. Leaders, though imperfect, were guided by biblical truth, the founding ideals of liberty, limited government, and a humble reliance on divine providence. Last week, we examined Millard Fillmore, the quiet compromiser who helped hold the Union together at a moment of grave peril. And today, we turn to his successor, Franklin Pierce, the young, charismatic president whose administration dramatically expanded America's physical borders while the nation itself edged closer to fracture. Franklin Pierce entered the White House carrying a grief so heavy it would have broken most men. Only weeks before his inauguration, his only surviving son was killed in a train accident. Yet on March 4th of 1853, Pierce stood before the nation and took the oath of office. In that moment, a private sorrow met a public duty that would test the very soul of the republic. So if you're interested to see how this sorrowful president helped shape this nation, stick around and let's dive in. Franklin Pierce was born in 1804 in a log cabin in Hillsborough, New Hampshire. The son of a Revolutionary War general and governor, he was raised with a deep sense of duty to the young republic. Educated at Bowdoin College and later trained as a lawyer, Pierce entered politics early and served with distinction in both the House and in the Senate. In 1834, he married Jane Appleton, the refined and devout daughter of a college president. Their marriage, however, was marked by profound sorrow. All three of their sons had died in childhood. And the final and most devastating blow came just weeks before Pierce's inauguration, when their only surviving son, Benny, was tragically killed in a train accident. Jane, who was already frail in health and spirit, never fully recovered. But Pierce himself found solace in scripture and the quiet practices of his faith, often turning to prayer amid private grief that few outside his closest circle ever fully understood. Now, let us examine Franklin Pierce's key positive accomplishments during his single term in office. First, Pierce oversaw the Gadsden Purchase in 1853. For $10 million, the United States acquired approximately 30,000 square miles of land from Mexico in what is now southern Arizona and New Mexico. The final major addition to the continental United States secured a southern route for a transcontinental railroad and completed the nation's continuous borders from sea to shining sea. Second, Pierce advanced American interests in the Pacific and the Caribbean with vision and resolve. He continued and brought to completion Commodore Matthew Perry's historic expansion into Japan. The Treaty of Kanagawa, signed in 1854 under Pierce's administration, ended Japan's long isolation and opened the first formal diplomatic and commercial relations between the two nations. This landmark agreement dramatically expanded America's influence in the Pacific and laid the foundation for future trade across the vast oceans. Third, Pierce pursued a bold and consistent expansionist foreign policy. He supported the Gadsden Manifesto, a confidential dispatch from American diplomats in Europe that urged the purchase, or if necessary, the seizure of Cuba from Spain. While the manifesto was ultimately disavowed due to domestic political pressure, it revealed Pierce's determination to extend America's territory and secure strategic footholds in the Caribbean. He quietly backed several private filibuster expeditions aimed at bringing new lands under America's influence, reflecting the same spirit of expansion through providence that had driven earlier administrations. Though controversial, these efforts demonstrated Pierce's belief that the nation's future greatness lay in its willingness to grow. Fourth, Pierce demonstrated personal resilience and public dignity. Even while carrying the weight of a profound private grief, he fulfilled the duties of the presidency with grace and composure, modeling the ideal that leaders serve the nation even when their own hearts are broken. Pierce assumed office at a time when the delicate balance between the North and the South was already fraying. The Kansas-Nebraska Act, which he supported, reopened the question of slavery in the territories and led to violent conflict in Bleeding Kansas. Yet even amid these gathering storms, Pierce remained committed to the Constitution as he understood it and to preserve the Union. So how do Franklin Pierce's accomplishments impact us today in 2026? Because Pierce completed territorial expansion of the continuous United States, we are reminded that bold, visionary decision can shape a nation's future for generations. Because he endured personal tragedy while serving in office, we learn that character is often forged in the furnace of sorrow. Because he sought to balance sectional interests while pressing outward, we see immense difficulty and necessity of pursuing unity in a divided republic. And because his term revealed the limits of compromise when moral fault lines run deep, we are challenged to examine our own time with clear eyes and biblical wisdom. Franklin Pierce's presidency shows us that even leaders who face immense challenges can leave a lasting mark on the land itself, while reminding us that the true strength of the republic lies not only in its borders, but in its moral and spiritual foundation beneath them. I want to thank you all for joining me in this journey through America's presidential history. Next week, we examine James Buchanan, the president who inherited a nation already sliding towards civil war. If this series is encouraging you and helping you to see our biblical foundations more clearly, please subscribe, hit that bell, and share this with others who love faith and freedom. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. I wish you a very blessed day. Bye for now.